Raleigh's real estate market is exploding, and if you're not watching these top 5 growing areas, then you just may miss out on your opportunity to invest in the next hotspot. I mean, I can show you these areas all day and all night, but I really want you to understand why they're growing and also getting so popular. And before we really get into the video, do me a favor. Take a guess and let me know in the comments below, which area do you believe is going to be on this list? There's no secret that Raleigh has been growing. I mean, it's been all over the news and the media. So personally, I'm not going to state the obvious to you guys. Instead, I really want you guys who are interested in either buying or investing in that Raleigh real estate market to know what other areas can you really look into to maybe help yourself save some time and money. But this list here this is not my own opinion. This is actually data that we've pulled and using a few metrics that I'll go ahead and share with you guys. One of them being the areas with the highest amount of closings. The next one is the ratio between how many of homes were listed versus how many of them were sold. The next metric was how many of those homes are getting asking price, below asking price, or even going above asking price. And then the last metric was the days on market. So of course, if there's an area has a very little amount of days on market, that means it is really competitive and a lot of people want it. Whereas vice versa, if it's on the market for a really long time, as you guys can anticipate, not many people want to pay attention to it. Now let's dive to the first area and you'll see why it's climbing to the top of everyone's list. And to kick things off, the first one on this list is Knightdale, North Carolina. So you guys can see where specifically it's located. And if I go ahead and zoom in a bit more for you guys can even see what's even there to do around that Knightdale area as well. But I know that's not really what you guys all really care about. You're pretty much wondering, well, why is Knightdale exceeding or at least gaining in popularity? Personally speaking, I'll go ahead and zoom out on this map again once more, so you guys could really see what I really want to show you, which is this thing you see here called 540, right? It travels all on the outskirts of Raleigh, really the surrounding areas and the suburbs, the towns that all surround it, it goes out to. And as you guys can see, it's even here, right? So just to kind of give you insight, this right here, where you see my cursor moving, is the final straw. When I say the final straw, I mean that is the last piece that they need. Whoever needs to construct it, kind of complete it, is there. And whenever that gets done, that gets done. I can honestly tell you, it was stuck here for quite some time. And this one recently, this phase here, they completed it. So honestly, when this is all said and done, I think that area is going to be long gone off of a lot of people's lists in terms of affordability. And speaking of affordability, let's go ahead and take a look to see what exactly the stats are, right? So we're looking at a place that is about under 500,000 for median. Still not enough inventory, I should say, and sellers are getting what they want within that 30-day threshold. So it's not an area that you really want to ponder on. You got to really understand what's going on here. But if you really want to understand what's going on here and you don't want to take my word for it, you could take the word of a few residents that I've found. So I'll go ahead and play this clip for you guys so you can really go ahead and check it out, or at least see what's going on there.
Well, the homes here in this Allen Park community of Raleigh are available for a January move-in. But for the folks who already called this area home, they said the folks who are on their way are coming way too soon. Boomtown East Wake.
And if I could just pick my house up and move it somewhere else, I would. It's too much. It's just too much.
The traffic. The 1, 2, 3, 4 different housing projects going up, and a Publix coming soon.
I love the Publix. The public grocery store is definitely a good added addition.
There you have it. That's Knightdale for you, but that's only one of many that's on this list here today. We're going to move on to the next one, which is Holly Springs, North Carolina. And if you don't know where this is located, you can go ahead and take a look at it here on the map. I would say it's south of Apex, that Cary, Apex area. So if you're familiar with it or even have your eyes on it, then that's one of those areas that is going to be within that vicinity of it. And just to kind of give you a little bit more, I guess, of a perspective, you guys can take a look at the map and see as well exactly where it's located, just for those that are really curious or even wondering. And if you're wondering, well, why is this an area that is growing? Well, let's take a look at Holly Springs in itself. This is an area that in my personal opinion, it's like a updated version of your carrier Apex, just because how relatively new it is. And I mean, it's been gaining popularity. It's been gaining popularity for the past couple of years. Honestly, this is nothing brand new, or should not be brand new to you. You guys can see it in the price point in itself. It says a lot. Within the months of inventory, it says enough. Days on market says enough, right? So this is an area that is extremely competitive. And it's one that you gotta bring all your, you gotta bring everything with you to make sure that you can get something. Not to say that this is not an area where you can't strike anymore, but this is just what's really happening here. It's only gonna get, in my personal opinion, just even more popular, especially the more and more that I make these videos or others make these videos and bring it to the hindsight of what's really happening here in the area. And if this is all brand new information to you, well, this is a perfect time for you to reach out to me just to kind of start that conversation and see, even if North Carolina is a good fit for you, and if so, where could be those areas that you can keep your eyes on to help you with your relocation. Because the next two, you should really know about it. And if you don't know about it, this is your time to take a step back and to really analyze what the heck is going on here. But we have Apex, North Carolina on that list as one of those popularities, those areas that is growing at a fast pace. This should not come at any surprise. And if it does, like I mentioned, please take a step back, because the next place I'm going to talk about as well is literally its neighbor. And so just for those that are interested and want to know why is it even taking off in the way it does, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for you just so you can see exactly what's going on.
Turning 150 could be so much fun. You all accepted the challenge to go all in with Apex during this year-long celebration. And how about the incredible progress we have made in the last 12 months? New spaces and places to engage as a community and share experiences. Not to mention all the wonderful projects underway to further enhance our beautiful town for all the people who live, work, and visit here. I mean, let's face it, we are Apex and the future is bright.
Mayor, if I may.
Sure, come on up.
So you're able to hear for yourself what's really happening there. And honestly, I will say what you see in Apex, you're going to very much so see in the next one I'm going to talk about, which is Cary, North Carolina. It's not going to be one of those, yes, they're a copycat of one another, but it's just kind of the same similarities that you'll see there as well. So I honestly won't spend too much time here. I'll just go ahead and show you guys the area, show you guys the map, just so you guys can kind of take a look at to see what's going on here. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys what's going on real estate wise in case you're curious to know, how does Cary, North Carolina stand against every other place that you're looking at. And so just because I've been kind of repeating myself, I'll just leave this here for you guys and take a moment to take a look at this, and then we'll move right over to the next one. Next up on that list of the fastest growing areas is Fuquay Varina. And so this is an area that is growing at a rapid speed because a lot of people are building in this area, right? So it's not so much of people choosing this area. If quite frankly, a lot of people don't even pronounce it right when they hear it. And this is no shade for those that, mispronounce it. It's a tricky one, right? But a lot of people just don't know about it. It's not on anyone's radar. In fact, a lot of builders are just building there, and because the opportunity presents itself, meaning it's not as expensive as you'll see in Raleigh, honestly. So a lot of people do see that and say, hey, I can get maybe a brand new home, get some land, and I can move out to that specific area that they're looking at, which is why you see a lot of individuals relocate to that area because of popularity and because of the builders, and that's what's gaining its popularity, I should have really said. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Fuquay Varina's real estate stats and data is looking like so you guys can see for yourself. Is this a market that you really want to play ball in? All right. Because if not, there's plenty of other places that you can go ahead and take a look at. In fact, let's just go right over to the next one here that you guys can see, which is Wake Forest, a little bit north of where we've been speaking about when it comes to that Fuquay Varina. I mean, this is literally on the opposite side. If you guys can see the map real clearly here, Fuquay Varina is down here, whereas Wake Forest is further up north. I mean, that's easily about a 45-minute drive from one to the other straight without any traffic, of course. But this is an area, honestly, I'm surprised to see this one on this list because it's, my personal opinion, an area that has already been developed. It should not be at its peak of it, but is pretty much close to the peak. It's like so much, it's one of those things where it's like, how much more can you do to that area and how is it really gaining that traction? That I am really uncertain about. Something I'm going to actually take a look into a little bit more, simply because it has everything that one may actually need. And I mean, we can go ahead and take a look at the real estate just so you guys can see it. right? So it's not that much of a difference from the Fuquay Varina aspect of it. Because, Wake Forest, you're not really there's not that much building going on there. It's just, my personal opinion is just people that are attracted to that area just relocating there just for whatever reason it could be. But because you stayed to this point, I got a bonus for you guys that stayed. And I'm sure this is not on anyone's list. Quite frankly, this is probably one that's being avoided more than any, because it's just, maybe it's too far out. No one knows about it. There's rarely anybody talking about this one, which is Wendell, North Carolina. As you guys can see, right, if we're looking at the map, you can see Raleigh's right here and Wendell's all the way over here, which I would say you're looking at about 25-30 minutes of a commute just to get to Raleigh in itself. And that's not even considering, if you're thinking about the airport, you're looking at up here, right? So depending on the day, depending on what's going on here, I would say at least a minimum of 25 minutes that you are going to separate yourself from that Raleigh area and the amenities that do transpire there. But let's take it a step further, because I wasn't planning on dropping this one, but because Wendell is so close to Zebulon, that's another area, right? It's not on my list, not one I'd really care to really put on today's video, but because we're there, right? Zebulon is another area you can go ahead and take a look at to see. But you're going to definitely find a lot of new development going on there. Honestly, I share what I see on a regular basis, which is way too many new developments. And it's like, where are all these homes? Where are these people even coming from? So please share with me in the comments below, where are you guys coming from? Because I'm curious to know what's attracting you guys to specific areas, or even to North Carolina in itself. But if we go ahead and take a look at the real estate stats, you can see, right, this is an area that is a lot less than what we've seen all day in this video today. Right, we've seen nothing but 4s and 5s, even 6s. But here, when we're looking at that window, we're looking at the 375s, which I'm sure a lot of you guys at this point are like, finally, something that's a little bit more sustainable, more realistic with, what many may be anticipating, or at least would like. But enough of me. I'll share with you guys this clip that I did come across.
Steve, Lauren, the town projected population will nearly double by 2030. From conversations today, both on and off camera, the consensus is essentially growth itself is inevitable. But what that looks like and how it's being implemented leads to a wide range of opinions.
Sitting on her front porch, Cheryl King describes the view she once enjoyed.
Beautiful woods.
Now it's this, a building under construction offering rental apartments.
I really, really miss the woods. I wish they had at least set it back further from the road. That would be nice. And maybe not have the AC units, because that's going to be very loud when it starts.
So there you have it. All right, you may not be able to see it, but hear from me first. These are areas that are actually growing. A lot of people are moving, whether it's builders requiring people to move there or people choosing to live in those areas. The best part about it all is these are all different areas, and Raleigh does have something, in my opinion, for everyone. It's just a matter of aligning what you are looking for to your lifestyle. I have an entire playlist that you can go ahead and check out. But if you don't want to check out that playlist, go ahead and reach out to me, and let's go ahead and have that consultation, that conversation, to see what it is that you are looking for, to see if North Carolina could be a good fit for you. But out of all the places I mentioned, which is Wendell, Fuquay Varina, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, Wake Forest, Knightdale, which one out of these surprised you the most? Let's hear it in the comments below. Because just as much as I'm making these videos for you guys, my name is Ronnie, and I would love to help you guys with your relocation needs.